Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Shyla and today's video is 10 baby girl names that I love but won't be using for various different reasons. Mostly Todd is just really hard to convince and he doesn't like any of these ones. But he liked Saint, so we have a son named Saint, which is interesting. But these are 10 baby girl names that I love but won't get to use for my own babies. I also just kind of feel like I'm not gonna have baby girls. I feel like I'm gonna end up with like 3 or 4 boys whenever we have more babies, hopefully soon. But I don't know, I just feel like I'm gonna be a boy mom, which is cool. But I would like to have at least one girl eventually, so we'll see. We've already picked out the name for our next baby, probably, whether it's a boy or a girl, because it's just kind of a neutral name that could go either way. So we're not gonna be using any of these. But I try to pick unique ones. I really like unique names, or at least names for girls that aren't usually used for girls. Like I like Ryan, Shane, Lane, stuff like that for girls, just because you don't usually hear it. Even Blake, I like Blake, but those ones aren't on this list. I tried to pick my top 10 that I really love, so let's get into it. So number 1, and probably my very favorite on this list, is Ramsay. I think that this is a beautiful name for a little girl and so unique. You never hear it. Like, you know Gordon Ramsay, but that's a last name. I also knew somebody in like high school and in my hometown with the last name of Ramsay, but you really never hear it for a first name. At least I haven't. Even little boys, you never hear Ramsay. So I think that that's super cute. It could go either way, but I think it's really, really pretty and just unique for a little girl. So I love that. The next one is London, and I think that this is a beautiful name. I also love the city London, and we love to travel, so I thought that would be really cool. But one of Todd's really good friends from college is named London, so I don't think we would ever use it. It's just kind of, he's London in our friend group, and I wouldn't try and like take that name, I guess. Also, he just had a baby and named his son London. Even though they're going by his middle name, there's still 2 Londons in the friend group already, so I'm not going to use that name ever, but it's so pretty, and I think it would be really cool for a little girl. The next one, and another one of my very favorites, is Rhiannon, and I think that this is so pretty. It's from, well, I'm sure it has some like actual origin, but where I know it from is the Fleetwood Mac song, and the only reason we won't use this one is because, actually, I probably would have never thought about it if my friend's kid wasn't named this, but I nannied this little girl named Rhiannon, and her mom and I were pregnant at the same time, and we're really good friends. We worked together, and we've stayed really good friends after I moved and everything, had my baby and stopped nannying for them. I think that is such an adorable name. You really don't ever hear it. I've seen it like a couple more times now that I know somebody named Rhiannon, but I had never heard it before like 2 years ago. So I think it's so cool and so pretty. The next one is Oakley, and I have seen this used a couple of times. There's a YouTuber who I watch who's about to name her son Oakley, but I think it would be so pretty for a little girl, and this is how I would spell it, but you could obviously make it more masculine if you wanted it to be for a boy, or even for a girl if you just wanted it to be different. You could do Oakley. I like the Leigh. I think it's just pretty and feminine and awesome, but it is kind of a longer name, and it would be harder for them to learn how to write it out whenever they're learning that. So, oh man, can I sneeze? Oakley, I really love that name. The next one that I love is Emery. I think that this is so cute. You really don't hear it very often. I think it's really pretty, and the only reason I won't use it is because Todd doesn't like it. The next one is another one that you hear pretty often for little boys, but you don't hear it for little girls, and it is Tyler. And I love it spelled with an AR at the end instead of an ER. I think it just looks really feminine and cute like that, but obviously whatever way you want to spell it, I think would be awesome. I think Tyler is just such a cute name. Ty for short if you want. I think that's so cute, but I won't be able to use it for my kid because as soon as we moved down here to Texas, we met some really close friends to us now, and one of their daughters is named Tyler, so I think that's really cool, but yeah, I would never be able to use it. So the next one is Willow, and I think that this is adorable, and Todd really likes it too. The only reason we won't use it is because we already have a son named Saint, and that's like the Kim and Kanye son name, so that's already like a celebrity baby name, and Willow is Will Smith's daughter's name, so I don't want it to be like a theme that we just use celebrities' kids' names. I don't know, maybe that's weird, but I think it's so pretty. I love it, and even Todd loves it. Todd thinks it's really, really cool. So it's really pretty, but I just don't want that theme going. The next one that I love, which is actually getting a little bit more common now, is Everly. I think it's so beautiful, and you can spell it in several different ways, and it's just so cute no matter how you spell it. I think it's so cute with like Ev, Evie, or Ever even as nicknames. I think that's so pretty. Just like, it's kind of old-fashioned sounding, which I love, and it's just so pretty. So I love that name. The reason I won't name my kid Everly ever is because I knew somebody, I actually kind of dated somebody who had a daughter named Evie, and that's just not something that I want to think about all the time. It's just kind of, it would just be weird to me to have my kid named Everly, because she would probably pick up the name Ev or Evie at some point, and I already know of an Evie who used to have a really special place in my heart and still does, obviously, but that's just a no for me. And the last one that I love but will never use is Kenley, and there are several ways that I love this name spelled. I'm not sure really what my favorite is, but I will never use this name for a little girl or at all, because my high school boyfriend and I said that we really liked this name, and if we ever had kids we would name our daughter Kenley. So I will never use that, but I think it's really adorable, and you really don't hear it often. I know of a little girl named Kenley, but I've never heard of a little girl. I mean, I've heard the name, but I've never actually personally known anybody with a kid named Kenley. So, and I even worked at a daycare, so I heard a lot of names, and that one was not one of the names that I ever heard. So I think it's really, really pretty. I just realized that I have only done 9 names. So the 10th name that I love for a baby girl is Juniper, and I think that this is adorable. It has so many cute little nicknames that you could have for her. Junie, June. I just love it. I think it's so pretty. But Todd doesn't really like that one. At least he didn't last time I was pregnant. Before we knew if it was a boy or a girl, whenever I mentioned that name, he didn't like it. Alright, so those are my top 10 baby girl names that I love, that I will not be able to use for my own babies. I think they're all pretty unique and just really cute. So those are my top 10, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!